I love the playoffs because everything becomes bigger, brighter, and bolder. Highlight moments take on legendary status, and both successes and failures can define a player or a team for years. The pressure rises, the stakes are higher, because elimination and advancement are on the line. Competition becomes fiercer because only the strongest teams are allowed to throw their hats in the ring. The atmosphere is more intense, fans amp up the emotion of every game, casters strain their voices to a fever pitch, writers pull out their biggest adjectives, and Redditors like to pounce on every opening to tear down underperformers, just hoping to earn 5 seconds of fame on Mark C's next episode of The Blame Game. But in the end, playoffs are a time for heroes, and that's what I love the most. Winners are always remembered longer than losers, and this split, we're already seeing some potential heroes building up their stories, but we're also seeing some of the potential risks or downsides of trying to become that hero. Let's look at one person, who is doing it right so far, which is Rekkles from Fnatic. He was celebrated during the regular season, but extending that performance into the playoffs obviously means so much more. He's been playing in some really unique ways in that first round, and that generates a lot of extra excitement, and it makes his performances more memorable, which really helps to tell kind of his hero story. As long as you win, of course, those unique plays can cost you if you lose. Rekkles definitely won a lot of hearts with his Twitch, Vayne, and Kennen picks, especially after generating a 22.5 KDA ratio, 76% kill participation, a plus 7.3 CS difference at 10 minutes, and 543 damage per minute, all massive numbers, part of their 3-0 sweep against H2K. Becoming hero is really a fickle process, though. You can feel like you're really on the right track and then have it all taken away from you. Just look at Huhi from CLG in their series against FlyQuest. He seemed ready to set himself for a really good hero story with yet another huge Aurelion Sol game. But game 2, it wasn't too bad. He was playing Ahri. He played a Gunblade build, which was really unique, which, kind of helped to tell that story. His lane phase wasn't very good, but he had some kind of nice eye-catching assassinations later on, and CLG won the game, and, so there was enough material to keep telling his story. But, of course, CLG didn't win. So all of that goes out the window. All of that is going to be forgotten, and he just couldn't manage to push his narrative over the top. Moon took over instead, and after first couple of games where he didn't really stand out, he took over for games 3 and 4 on Rengar, big carry performances. He gave FlyQuest a chance to tell one of the most epic stories possible in the playoffs, which is the reverse sweep. He earned the series MVP, partly because he consistently got ahead of Smithy in the early game. He had a slash line of plus 175 gold difference at 10 minutes, plus 233 experience difference at 10 minutes. Just took over the pathing, carried really well, and he had the last laugh and the longest laugh. And of course, there are also risks and downsides to trying to make that hero story your central goal. You can look at Smeb in the LCK playoffs so far. He wanted so badly to be the hero in KT Rolster's series against MVP. That led to mistakes that undercut the story he was trying to tell about himself. He made a roam to mid lane at one point where he went in for a gank that Pawn just wasn't ready to receive, and Smeb ended up dying into the tower. I believe he gave up first blood on that play. He would go split pushing, and he'd push too far, or he'd start going for a jungle invade while his wave was crashing into the tower. He got 2v1'd and killed. He just had these really aggressive plays, aggressive initiations, and seemed like he was trying to do more than he needed to do, trying to boost himself up as the person who was making this win happen for his team. KT Rolster did win, and Smeb was a big part of that win. He was very good throughout the series, but those mistakes and those overreaches and that kind of eagerness to be the hero cost him a little bit, and his kind of hero narrative needs some fixing up if he wants to carry it through to the end and be the actual hero at the end of the playoffs. With semifinals up next for Europe, North America, and Korea, it's time to tell the next chapter in our heroes' journeys, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds.